No. Throw invisibility scroll. Gotta get vanish on these guys as well. I might even start cutting out the random encounters in the episode just because, like I said, you guys have seen this all before. There's not much for me to talk about. If you're into the other side, yeah, okay, so I'm wondering if I need to... I have to, like, move it. Listen, okay. Because I had to, like, actually move it to the center, so... I do want to keep in my actual exploration or path through the Dragon's Den, just in case you guys are trying to do this and you're not really sure where to go, or you don't really remember how to get to Kaiser's Breath. I don't fully remember how to get to Kaiser's Breath. It's been a while since I actually last picked this up and played it, so I'm trying to remember the path I took. So move the turtle to the center. And now I can ride it across. Yeah, we are now here in the Grand Cavern. And I should be able to bypass those annoying green coats by taking the lower bridge. Okay, so... Alright, jump across here. Just gonna quickly pop in here. Use a tent. Save the game as well, always a good thing. And let me think. I'll go up around here. Push that 4-ton weight. Yes. I'm not really too interested in fighting random encounters in here because we went through the Dragon's Den already. You've seen all these encounters. You know basically what they can do or can't do. Now I think I want to go through here. Boom. Alright. I will need to make sure that this team is in Kaiser's Breath. Good. Because these guys are going to follow the same path that the last team took. So we'll call the turtle back over here so we can ride it across. I'm just thinking I might put Ward Bangle on this team as well. Because like I said, I really don't feel like I need to showcase any random encounters at this point. You guys have pretty much, I think, seen all of them that I can think of. I think there is, like, the Gale Hairpin increases the chance of preemptive strikes or something like that. I don't think I'm going to actually worry about that. I am going to use a tent, which will remove my vanish, unfortunately. but I'm going into the Grand Cavern, or not the Grand Cavern, the Inner Eye Labyrinth, I believe, is what's called. So I should be safe, hopefully. Famous last words, right? Yeah, Inner Eye Labyrinth. Now I think here I want to go around. Okay, now I made it down here. I actually don't quite remember where I am supposed to go, so just let me pause for a minute here while I check my notes. We want to go up here. So let's go in here. Another save point. I don't really need the tent, but at the same time, I have 99 of them, so it's kind of like, why not use it, right? And we come up here, and now we're in Kaiser's Breath. So now we gotta get our final team, these guys. We need to get them into Kaiser's Breath as well. To do that, we're going to go back here to the cavern. I think this is where I want to go. Yep. Okay, we want to go up here now. And I can bypass the green coats again, thankfully. Don't have to deal with their shenanigans. Alright, so finally we are all in Kaiser's Breath here. I still get attacked here? So, switch number 1. Switch number 2. And yeah, just before I do that, we're all floating, which is good. Actually, we wanted that. Yeah, I can't use Mega Elixir, but I can use Elixirs, which I think I may do for my whole team here. Alright, and one thing I want to check is, yeah, elemental protection is okay in the battle, but it's not as good as magic defense. This lowers for physical defense, but yeah, Torch Shell gives you lots of magic. Force Shield, what do these guys have? Yeah. Somebody else has the Paladin Shield. I don't really need to worry about... Yeah, I'll just give him something. Torch Shell. Genji, that's fine. That's fine. Just making sure if there's anything else my other team members will need. I don't believe so. Actually, Mog with his defense might have been a good idea to bring in, but he'll be alright. So somebody's getting the Paladin Shield. I think, again, we'll go with Gogo. And I'm doing it more for the defensive properties than the actual magic thing. And there's Saucer, but again, it kind of lowers his... Whoa. That's not what I meant to do. Anywho, yeah, he kind of needs that. I'm thinking Force Shield more than... Because these two, they can't equip things like force armor like she can. Not that I would change the Minerva Bustier for that, but yeah, I think these guys will be okay. I'm going to throw in a quick save state. And let's... Yeah, there won't be any way to get back here. Yeah, let's step into that portal. We are once again in Kaiser's lair. And you can see this thing is... It looks like the Kaiser Dragon, but I don't believe it is. Omega Weapon. Oh, I get Preemptive Strike, which is very nice. So, basically the thing with Omega is it has a lot of nasty attacks, and you want to make sure that you're protected. Ugh. We all have shell on. I'm not sure why. Oh, the force shields. That's what that is. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna make sure that we all have quick. We all cast quick, because just like with the Holy Dragon and the Kaiser Dragon, this thing has counters, and you do not want it to get its counters off. They are very nasty, so I'm gonna go ahead and use the quick strategy, and for the second turn, I'm gonna use buffs. We've got Float. I should use Mighty Guard. That would have been the smart thing to do. Anywho, yeah. Throw Fuma Shuriken. And for the second turn, regen. On again. Yeah. You're going down, buddy. And for the second turn, I'm just going to go with regen. This is one of the reasons I didn't actually go with Miracle Shoes. Miracle Shoes would have been a good choice, except that by not equipping Miracle Shoes, then I can spend my second turn in quick buffing. So for her first turn, she's going to go with Ultima. And regen on her for turn number 2. So you'll notice that Omega Weapon has not made a single move yet. Quick has kind of, as you can see, sort of derailed his ability to move. So it's a little cheap, but I mean, I could try fighting this out normally. You could see how nasty he can get, because he has some really nasty counterattacks that he does. Plus, he has every 20 seconds... he comes out with a big move, like, I forget exactly what he does every 20 seconds, but it's pretty nasty. Okay, I've kind of lost track of... I think this is his first move. Okay, yeah, second move. We're gonna go regen. Alright, so Sabin goes. I'm actually gonna focus on whoever has the quick turn, and then I can... Alright, so Phantom Rush. And for turn 2, I'm going to put on Re-Raise just because I don't know if this thing comes out with a big final attack when it dies. I can't quite remember. And I do not want to get, you know, Kaiser Triken where it kills you and that's like, oh, by the way, guess what? I'm just going to do like an Ultima in your face and take you down with me. Yeah, so we definitely... Oh, here we go. Re-raise. It's doing something. Vengeance. I think this removes all my buffs, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, it did. But that's okay. We can handle that. Quick. Okay. So it's Go-Go. So first of all, we're still gonna keep the pressure on you. And turn 2, Mighty Guard. Yeah, so Vengeance basically wiped out all the buffs that I had set up. That's okay though. Xiao's gonna throw in Puma Shuriken for turn 2. We're gonna get float back on everybody. Alright. Okay, hopefully that didn't kill it. Okay, good. Because I want at least re-raise on somebody. I think re-raise should be like probably my first buff, actually, before I make any other moves. Okay, so Ultima. Yeah, but gotta stay on your toes. Okay, and for turn number 2, she's gonna re-raise. Okay, so Go-Go isn't quick right now. So he's gonna start out with Grand Delta. Yeah, but, I mean, I guess if you're watching this right now, you can see this looks pretty simple. I mean, I've made this fight to the point where it's just simply using quick, attack the first turn, buff the second turn, and it looks pretty simple. If I were to not use the quick strategy, then every time I attacked him, he would be coming out with a counterattack. And, okay, so turn 2, I need re-raise on him. I mean, I would cast haste, but I don't even think I need it. Well, I don't remember if Mighty Guard actually gives you the haste ability. I can't quite remember. Gives you protect and shell. Get quick. He can attack. Bust you up, and second move, let's start getting regen back. Well, I don't even know, because regen, like, he's barely, with the quick strategy, this thing is barely touching me. So I don't even know if I need regen per se, but hey, what the heck. Yeah, there seems to be something about quick that I wasn't quite aware of, that it kind of seems like when you use the quick spell, that it almost makes it jump to the front of the queue, so you get your turn, your two turns right away. And Omega Weapon has not even like made a move here, which, well, he's made one move, Vengeance, to remove my buffs. Okay, so yeah, so basically this thing has 3 phases, and every time you see that glow, yeah, now he's going to come out with a big move. Heartless Angel. quick. Yeah. Oh, shoot, that was her second quick move. Okay, so he's going to come out. Grand Delta, because he cannot counter my first move. Yeah, but this thing has 3 phases, and each time when you kill the first phase, or when you pass the first phase, he uses Vengeance to remove your buffs. The second phase, which I just completed, he comes out with Heartless Angel when you complete the second phase. So now he's into the real nasty phase. Let's put it that way. And yeah, again, we want to avoid counters. This doesn't really change the strategy as far as we're concerned. I am going to... actually, I should probably Kiraga. Here, keep my HP up as much as I can. Yeah, but if I wasn't using quick... Oh, here, he came out, he got a turn. This is going to do... Does some damage, not really a whole lot. But, I mean, this is basically how you beat the super bosses. Okay. I can't use Osmos. He's going to Ether. And for the second move, yeah, he doesn't have quick either, so he's going to... I'm actually going to start Elixiring. You know what? No. Mega Elixir. What? There we go. There we go. Yeah, okay, so I didn't have to have Shadow use the Ether, but... I mean, there's really no point in conserving Mega Elixirs at this point, so may as well use them. This is the final battle. The Omega battle. I think we're pretty good. Yeah, we're fine for HP because we used a Mega Elixir. Quick on him. We can use Grand Delta. But you see even how these super bosses can be easily cheesed. Omega Weapon is not ripping me a new one. I kind of feel like Kaiser Dragon was more of a challenge. I mean, I used the quick strategy against it as well, but I still feel like Kaiser Dragon put up more of a fight than Omega. Omega Weapon is just not getting enough turns to make anything happen. So I think I'm kind of buffed up as much as I need to be. So I'm just going to start probably defending on my second turn. Okay. She's up here. I just want to quickly check. Re-raise. Okay, it just shows protect, but I'm pretty sure we have re-raise on my team. Just in case he comes out with a nasty surprise. He's gotta be getting low on health. Just have her defend. Focusing energy. Yeah, he's doing something. He's preparing something. But if I'm fast enough, I can take him out before he can get off his big move. There we go. Yeah, so in one way it was kind of unsatisfactory because Quick just basically shut him down and he wasn't able to get enough turns to make a difference. Yeah. But I beat Omega Weapon. I'll take the win. Alright. Whoosh. So that is basically the game. Wow. So yeah, that is Final Fantasy VI, the GBA version. Yeah, I'll just kind of take a few minutes to kind of talk about the game. This game, I kind of mentioned this in the first episode. This is absolutely like one of my favorite Final Fantasies. I wouldn't say it's number one, but it's definitely up there in the top 5, possibly the top 3. This was the game, Final Fantasy II on the SNES. You know, when it was localized as Final Fantasy II, it was really Final Fantasy IV, but that was the game that kind of really introduced me to the RPG genre of, you know, you have a party of adventurers and you go around the world and you save the world and you fight bad guys, all that, all the standard RPG tropes. And this is the game that really got me hooked, I would say, on it, though. I spent a lot of summer vacations just playing through this game, going through the Colosseum, going through the dungeons, absolutely loving it. A lot of fond memories as a kid playing this. So this game has always held a special place in my heart throughout the Final Fantasy franchise, and I think it always will. So I definitely, when I started my YouTube channel, I always knew that this was going to be a game that I was going to do a playthrough of. It was just kind of like no question in my mind, I have to do a playthrough of this game. If I had any complaints or anything about it that I dislike, I would say probably the one thing that I don't like about it is just the number of random encounters. Sometimes I kind of felt like the random encounters were a bit too high. I did mention that, where you take, you know, 1 or 2 steps and you get into another battle right away, and sometimes that can be when you get to a point in the game where you're overpowered for the enemies you're fighting, then it actually starts to become a bit boring, because then you're just like basically hitting attack, 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 or you're using your big spells, like, you know, like you saw me select some of the battles there. It was just Grand Delta, Ultima, Phantom Rush, Fuma Shuriken, just repeatedly using the same moves because they work over and over. And so you've got your strategy, but it makes the battles kind of repetitive, and then you kind of get bored and you're like, well, I don't really want to fight the battles anymore, because I'm just doing the same thing over and over, and I'm just doing the same moves, and then the battles start to become boring. So sometimes I felt like the encounter rate was a bit too high, especially in areas like Narshe. I don't know what it is about Narshe, but for some reason you go in that town, and if you don't have the ward bangle or anything like that, then the battles in Narshe just seem to come at you one after the other. Oh, I definitely don't want to. I was going to go in and fight some battles in Narshe, but I forgot. I have only Setzer on my team, so probably don't want to do that. Other than that, I really don't have a lot of complaints about the game. I guess the other thing is kind of like how after you get Espers, everyone on the team can use magic, and it really makes some of the characters I kind of find fall by the wayside. Like Gau, I never really found him. I found his concept kind of fun to play around with a little bit, but I never really found him all that interesting as a character, because he's like the wild child of the Veldt, and because he doesn't really have a lot of characterization, I kind of felt like he was one of the weak points. Umaro obviously is very much the same, even more so, where he just doesn't really have a character, but he is one of the hidden like characters that you don't have to get. So yeah, so I didn't have a problem with that really. I just don't use Umaro. And yeah, I just feel like it would have been better if they had kind of made the magic characters stand out a bit more by maybe making it so some of the other characters like Sabin and Edgar and Shadow, like they could learn some spells, but maybe there were some spells that they couldn't learn, and only the dedicated magic users like Realm, Terra, Celeste, Strajo, characters like that who are naturally magically inclined, that maybe they were the only ones that would have access to the right high level spells. Because this is a game really that like where magic is OP. Once you get access to spells like Ultima, Flare, Holy, but yeah, like I said, Ultima in particular, once you get access to those spells, you just basically start blowing enemies out of the water, and that goes back again to, you know, the idea of not having fun. The battle's just becoming so repetitive, and just using your big spells over and over to the point where it just there's no challenge, and the battles become just the same old hat over and over. So those are really the only complaints I have with the game, but I mean, it's really a solid game. The one thing I really love about it is this is the one few games where the heroes fail, in a sense. I mean, we did save the world, but, you know, initially, the game was supposed to end on the floating continent. You were supposed to take your team up to the floating continent where Kefka and Gestal are. You were supposed to, Kefka was going to absorb the power of the Roaring Triad there on the floating continent, and then you would have to fight them, you would have to fight him, and the game would be over. You know, and that works, but it would have really felt like it would have made a very short game, for one, and it would have made the story almost feel incomplete, because there's a lot of characterization, a lot of story here in the second half of the game in the World of Ruin here. And I kind of feel if they just ended it there, there would have been a lot of things, a lot of loose ends that never were resolved or tied up, like Locke's story with Rachel. You know, that doesn't get resolved until the World of Ruin. So I definitely agree with the idea of making a story where the heroes actually fail to stop the villain from obtaining ultimate power, and then Celeste awakens a year later in this dying, crumbling world, and somehow from the ashes they rebuild their team, they find each other again, and they all team up, and they manage to overthrow Kefka and bring peace back to the world. So that's really all I want to say about the game. The last thing that I need to talk about is what's next for the channel, and that is an excellent question. I recently accepted a freelance position as a video YouTube editor for a company called Factinate, which is really exciting for me. It's nice to know that something that I've been doing as a hobby actually has value, that a company is actually willing to pay me to work on videos for them. So that is very exciting. It does take up a lot of my free time, and unfortunately that does mean that I have less time to work on these videos. Now, I definitely wanted to complete Final Fantasy VI. That's kind of why I was pushing to get this last video recorded and edited and out to you guys. I've been able to stick with my once a week schedule because I recorded these videos ahead of time and was able to get them edited and recorded, but now working a full-time job and a part-time job, I'm going to have a lot less free time to work on these videos. Now, that doesn't mean that the channel is going to stop completely. It might mean that my uploads are not as frequent as they used to be, so I might have to go to a video every 2 weeks or every 10 days or something like that. For the immediate future, I'm going to take a break like I always do whenever I finish a playthrough. It takes a lot of time, a lot of effort to make these videos, so I always like to have a bit of a break in between and just take a bit of a rest and just continue to upload the videos as they come out. This one will be once a week up until this video, and then after that I'll probably take a break. I'm thinking of maybe revising the Final Fantasy IV playthrough a bit, because I was looking it over and I realized I was playing it on the DS, so I had the 2 split screens, and while I think that was a good decision for the playthrough, it kind of made the cutscenes all kind of just play on the left-hand side of the screen, and I don't really like the look of that, so I may actually revise some of those videos so that the cutscenes from that game are playing just showing the single screen, and I think that'll aesthetically look a lot better. So that might be kind of my short-term project. As for long-term, I'm researching some of the games that I might want to play next. I haven't made any decisions at this point as to the next game, the next playthrough, or if I'm going to do a full playthrough, because, like I said, with my time limited as it is for the time being, could be a lot of effort to put in a full playthrough, but I do have some ideas for some shorter kind of snippet vignettes or featurette videos. One thing I want to do was kind of talk about the Veldt in more detail, so that might be something that I work on in the coming weeks. But for now, this was the Final Fantasy VI playthrough. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. I really had a lot of fun playing through this game. I know I had some hiccups with technical difficulties with laptops and editing equipment and stuff like that, but we managed to make it through. We got to the end. Thank you so much for all you guys sticking with me. If you enjoyed this playthrough, make sure to check out my Final Fantasy IV playthrough. Please leave a like and a comment, subscribe to my channel, and I will be back with more content as soon as I can be. I'm really looking forward to working on some of these projects that I have on the back burner coming up. So thank you again so much, you guys, and I'll see you again soon. Peace out.